And let's bring in former Senior Director for Counterterrorism on the National Security Council, Javed Ali, for more. Javed, thanks for coming on. Today, President Trump declared this war is over, but there are still a lot of details to be worked out in the next phases of this deal. What do you think are the biggest obstacles at this point to ensuring this goes the distance?
So, Diane, nice to be with you. And I don't know if it's an obstacle, but certainly a challenge. And one of them right now is going to be the process under which Hamas is demilitarized and demobilizes as a terrorist organization or as a militant organization, and that is going to take a great deal of time and attention, and it's still not clear who is going to actually oversee that demobilization and militarization, whether it's the Israeli Defense Forces or this international security body that still is not yet comprised and on the ground. So that, to me, is one of the major challenges going forward.
Part of the ceasefire agreement requires Hamas to disarm. How do you make that happen to begin with? And then how do you ensure it stays that way?
Right. So going back to previous examples in history where similar things like this have occurred with the Irish Republican Army in 1998, with the long going struggle they had with the British government, the FARC in Colombia in the mid 2010s. I mean, you literally have to account for the fighters, the people who would take up arms for these organizations, ensure that they don't have the weapons and the capabilities to conduct in further acts of terrorism or militant operations. And how do you also dismantle the infrastructure that operational infrastructure that Hamas had in the Gaza Strip, where they kept weapons and supplies and the tunnels and all those things? And again, that is the tunnels, I think, in particular, are going to make what the demilitarization for Hamas unique. That wasn't the case with the IRA or the FARC in Colombia, but these things will just take an extensive amount of time to sort through, and you're going to need this security force on the ground, whether it's the IDF or this other international coalition, and that's going to be the one that's going to have to do all that accounting and verification.
Now the Hostage Families Forum is saying only 4 of the 28 bodies of hostages that were expected to be released on Monday, they're now saying only 4 of them will now be released. They are accusing Hamas of going back on the deal. Could that derail this whole thing?
I don't think so. And again, this is another tragic aspect of the conflict, and the bodies of the hostages who've perished in captivity, either under Hamas control or other Palestinian groups in the Gaza Strip. Hamas might actually not know where those bodies are. Some of those locations may have been targets in Israeli military operations, so those bodies could be buried under rubble or even underground in the tunnel networks. And I hate to say this too, but some of the bodies may be so badly disfigured that there may not be much left to return. And so these are all really delicate things that have to be examined. But Hamas may not actually be in control of the bodies of the hostages who are deceased, or they may not know the location. So I think we're just going to have to wait and see how that plays out.
All right, Javed Ali, always great to have you. Thank you.